Modern living is failing. It's failing human health. The masses are dying from diseases stemming from poor lifestyles with overly processed foods. It's normalized to be living in bubble wrap, hunched over the desk for hours, taking health for granted until we lose it. Worldwide, sperm quality is declining. Even if we wanted to live healthy, we get stuck in an echo chamber of unhealthy living. The entirety of news headlines is whispering World War III. It's failing our home itself and the species we coexist with, but that will be for a different letter. Zoom out, it's failing well-being. We are disconnected. Disconnected from friends, disconnected from family, disconnected from the nature, disconnected from ourselves. Mind, body, and spirits misaligned, trying to pursue a purpose handed to us because we failed to look inwards. That zest for life gone. The cause? Lack of awareness. The fast-paced, information-saturated world we live in today, barely knowing the difference between real and fake with the rise of AI, is causing humans to lean up against evolutionary mental shortcuts to conserve mental energy and make fast decisions. These shortcuts work most of the time for us, but can be exploited, and they are. It's easy to get sucked into the societal system's ongoing demand, forgetting we have the ability to actually stop and ask, why? Becoming more aware takes us from reactive to responsive, from knee-jerk reactions to calculated moves on a chessboard, from building someone else's dream to building yours, best serving the collective consciousness. So how do you find your purpose? You're unlikely to find it during your next doom scrolling on LinkedIn or IG. Luckily, neuroscience has our back, and it all starts with curiosity. Most of us are getting generously paid to stay in jobs we despise, working with people we would not even consider going out for a coffee with, to stay away from fully following our curiosity. By spending time at the intersections of multiple specific curiosities, that's where passion gets discovered and cultivated. As an example, let's say you're interested in mindfulness meditation, virtual reality, and behavioral psychology. This could involve creating immersive guided meditations, VR experiences that promote mindfulness and reduce anxiety based on principles of behavioral psychology. This could involve creating immersive guided meditations, virtual environments designed to reduce stress, or biofeedback-based VR training. Passion on its own is not self-sustaining though, and can become a rather lonely and egoistic pursuit. However, turning that passion into a mission bigger than ourselves, and there we have purpose. This is what we call other people to join and support it, passing it on to others that will do the same. To take things further, it doesn't stop at finding your purpose, and pursuing is not enough. We have to actually get good at the skills required to fulfill that purpose. This is where mastery comes in. Hang on. How exactly will me finding my purpose make me fitter than 99% of the population? Let's deframe. How do you intend to maximize flow states if you're only sleeping 4 to 6 hours per night consistently? To quote Mihaly, the father of the flow state, flow is a state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience itself is so enjoyable that people will do it even at great cost for the sheer sake of doing it. In flow, the human organism is functioning at its fullest capacity. Let's reframe. From shifting the focus from exercise and nutrition being this extra chore we need to check off for the day, to recognizing them being part of fulfilling your purpose. Suddenly, optimal health is not reserved for the IG models, the influencers, the Silicon Valley tech millionaires, and the athletes. Food for thought. Who else pays the price for you not being at your best? Just a week into a properly designed routine. One, feeling of fitness is instant. You're increasing loads weekly. But for that to last, we need to become pref-proof. Having the best health possible is part of fulfilling our life's mission. Now on to more specifically what's required for us to be sustainably fit. We need to be pref-proof. Pref standing for purpose, realistic, enjoyable, and flexible. Other than realizing that your health should be a must in supporting your life's purpose, we need to make sure that the routine we have is realistic, enjoyable, and flexible. Miss one and the routine is unsustainable. Miss two and you quit. Let me explain with an example from one of my clients at EXEC. What you can see on the screen is a 1-year transformation. For the sake of anonymity, we'll call my client Raj. Raj is a busy sedentary researcher without easy access to a gym, and he had no equipment at home to start, no prior training experience, and a vegetarian foodie absolutely loving Indian dishes, especially recipes that he would have growing up. His goal? Get rid of the belly fat and get stronger while still having his favorite Indian dishes. When he reached out, he was starting to feel the gravitational pull of aging, although just being in his 30s. He was very aware that health had to be a priority for his life and work if he wanted to live better for longer. Purpose? Check. I designed the training to fit his time and equipment availability as well as his training experience. So it was 3 to 4 weekly sessions with resistance training and cardio included, of no more than 1 hour, and primarily bodyweight exercises in the comfort of his home. He had a backpack he could fill up with heavy things like a book, rocks, like whatever is heavy, he could fill it up so that it would be giving him adequate resistance for his training. Realistic? Check. Having no prior experience, Raj didn't know what he liked or disliked about a health and performance program. As he went through the program, he found some exercises and some practices to being more enjoyable than others. He was less likely to adhere to the less enjoyable ones, so we ditched those. He went from having no training experience to now being able to do the big threes, squats, deadlifts, bench press via our virtual movement assessment sessions. He found it exciting to be pushing his barriers and discovering what he was capable of. So last week, he did the notorious Murph workout. Since enjoying his favorite Indian dishes with his partner was very important to him, it made sense to have him use MyFitnessPal, a nutrition tracking app, rather than giving him a regimented meal plan. He just had to focus on hitting his macronutrient targets, so protein, carbs, and fats. Enjoyable? Check. The way the nutrition plan worked, where he could be very flexible, just type in the foods he was having and just having to focus on hitting the macronutrient targets, made the whole routine very flexible. The way the nutrition plan was set up, allowing him to put his own meals together and having them fit the macronutrient targets in MyFitnessPal, made this way of eating and adhering to nutrition very flexible. He was able to move his training sessions around if he did not feel well on a certain day, or if he was just too busy with work or had to travel. He had different variations of his training program depending on whether he was at home, whether he was out traveling, or occasionally training at an outdoor gym. He has been informed that if at any point something doesn't work, he should just report back to me and necessary changes will be made to keep things sustainable. Flexible? Check. So as you can see, Raj is prep proof and his results are just coming as a natural consequence. So are you prep proof? I got a checklist that you can go through to self-reflect over your own routine and see if there's anything missing out. So for purpose, is your fitness tied to a goal bigger than aesthetics or weight loss? Will better health help you create impact in the world? For realistic, can you stick to your routine even on the busiest or most stressful weeks? Do you have the time, space, and energy for it without needing heroic willpower? For enjoyable, can you say yes without any hesitation that your routine is generally enjoyable? Would you still do this if there were no visible rewards, no compliments, no metrics, no mirror? Flexible. Do you have a backup plan when your ideal routine is disrupted without feeling guilty or off track? Can you adapt your workouts or nutrition on the fly without breaking your momentum? When you're ready, here's how I can help. Are you a busy professional who wants to get lean, boost energy, and get in your best shape? You can book a free consultation to see if we will be a fit. Link in description. That's it for now. Take care. Bye-bye.